Hi, and welcome to another interesting Photoshop tutorial. In this week's Photoshop tutorial, we're going to explore a simple method for using selective coloring in your images. Selective coloring is a technique where you mix black and white and color in an image, and it is usually done to highlight or accentuate certain portions of an image. In this example, I will use this image of a sunflower that I took last summer at the Manchester Wildlife Management Area near Sumter, South Carolina. And during this tutorial, we will go from this to this. So let's get started. Okay, here we are in Photoshop with our image open. And the first thing I want to do is create a duplicate layer so I don't work destructively on my background. And I do that by right-clicking in the Layers panel on the background layer and selecting Duplicate Layer and hit OK. Now I'll double click on the name and rename it to Sunflower. And I can hide my original background. So now any of the work that we do will be on this layer here, and it will be non-destructive to the original image. So the first thing we want to do is determine what area of our photograph we want to use selective coloring on. And in this photo it's pretty straightforward. This yellow sunflower right in the middle, I want to remain yellow, and then the rest of the image will convert to black and white. And the quickest way to do that is by using the Quick Select tool, which is the letter W on your keyboard as a shortcut, or you click on the Select tool. Make sure on the tool properties that you have this button selected, Add to the selection. And you can start, let's zoom in a little bit here so we can see what we're doing. And we start by clicking on the yellow. And as we click, it adds more and more to the selection. And it's based on the color range. So it's going to, pick all the adjacent colors that are similar. We can also click and drag to quickly select the whole flower. And there we have it. Now the first thing I want to do before I convert any of the image to black and white is to invert the selection, because right now our flower is selected, and if I do any conversion to black and white, it'll only affect the items within the selection, which at this point is the yellow flower. So I want to select everything but the yellow flower, and the way to do that is go to your select menu and pick inverse. So now it has selected everything except the yellow flower. Now to convert to black and white, we're going to create an adjustment layer, and we click on our adjustment layers underneath our layer panel, and we select black and white. And as you can see, what that did is it converted everything that was in the selection, that means everything but the yellow flower, to black and white. And this dialog box here lets us select different presets for different styles of black and white. So you can have a blue filter which will darken your background, green filter will highlight your background, lighter, high contrast blue filter, even darker background. You can do a red filter. You can go through these and pick the one that you like the best for your image. I think for right now we'll just stay with the red filter. And you can always tweak your black and white with these sliders here, by turning down settings, turning up settings. And there we have it. We have selective color. So let's zoom in a little bit here. You can see there are still some areas in here where there's some green showing. You can further refine your selection by using your brush tool, which is a shortcut letter B on your keyboard, or click on the icon here. You want to make sure you have a brush with a hardness of 100%, opacity 100%, and flow 100%, and smoothing 0. And mode is normal. We also want to make sure that your mask is selected. This is your mask right here. And if I were to paint here, of course, it would paint over the image. But if I paint in the mask, I can paint either black or white. Black on the mask reveals the color, white hides color. So with our brush tool, when we want to hide some of this green, we will pick white as a foreground color. And we can start painting on our mask. We can paint out any of the color. And we can zoom in, we can make our brush smaller or larger, and we can spend as much time as we want on this or as little time as we want. So if we make a mistake, we merely reverse our color. Black as a foreground color. Let's increase my brush a little bit, and you can again paint the color back in. Remember, black reveals the color, white hides. Okay. And it's as simple as that. And there you have selective color using black and white adjustment layer with a layer mask to refine. We can also add to our selection by going back to our image, selecting sunflower in the layers panel, selecting our quick select tool, and let's say we wanted to add this leaf in to the color, and maybe this one down here also. So we select that. Then before we do anything, we go back to our mask. Make sure you click on your mask. And with black as a foreground color, we are going to choose our paint bucket tool or the letter G keyboard shortcut. And we're going to fill this area that we selected with black. See that? The color just popped right in. And let's deselect so we can see. And we can clean up a little bit there. And you can spend as much time or as little time as you need onto this image to achieve the effect that you want. And that's how this works. So I hope you got something out of this tutorial. It's quick and easy, simple. It's fun to do. And, you know, give it a shot, try it, play with it. And I'd be interested to see how your images turn out. So you can contact me on Facebook, George Sladik at Facebook. Also, be sure to like this video below if you got something out of it, and if you'd like to, you can subscribe and make sure and hit the notification bell to get notifications of future videos. My intention is to create one new tutorial a week and post it to YouTube and also to Facebook. So play with it. Show me what you can do with it, and see you next week for the next tutorial. Have a great day. Thanks, everybody. Bye now.